Welcome back to The Express at Sir Matthew Begbie Elementary School in East Vancouver. Before we get back to hitting the books, we're going to hit the water in Whistler with a man who's no stranger to adrenaline.
I call it the study of the hydrology. Knowing what's going on, what's happening on the surface, tells me what's underneath on the base of the river.
After 20 years of running the Green River in Pemberton, spending 100 to 120 days a year getting to know every corner, the only thing stronger than the water's current is Eric Pejota's passion for jet boating.
Every trip is different. So the water levels change. At a certain level, there's one move where I actually have to throw the boat on edge sideways to get it through two rocks, else we're hitting bottom. It's like flying an airplane at low altitude through a tight canyon. There's just no room for air. So it really takes 110% of my concentration on every time I'm running up there. 4 buckles.
1 part merman, 1 part speed junkie. This rally car driver hosts 1-hour jet boat tours leaving the meadows at Pemberton Golf Course every summer. Eric first eases his guests into the tour with easy cruising Grade 1 waters.
This is one of my favorite viewpoints of Mount Currie, which is the peak off to our left here.
In 1987, this ski legend made the first descent on this 8,000-foot tall summit.
Been a big part of my life, this mountain. I've skied it over 20 times, and yeah, it's totally respect it. One of the top 50 classic ski descents in North America.
What was once ice and snow now feeds the Green River Canyon, where whitewater shifts this rip-roaring time into full speed at Nairn Falls Provincial Park.
And there might be a little humidity coming over the windscreen of the boat in the form of H2O. 40-degree clean Green River water, so I hope you're not afraid of a little cold water. Whistler jet boating, it's not like Disneyland here. There's definitely no strings attached.
You can see why they call this the Green River Thriller. You definitely want to hang on as you enter the last leg of this trip, leading up to the entranceway at Nairn Falls. It's the end of the line, so if you want to explore this 200-foot tall waterfalls, you got to do so on foot.
We run some pretty solid grade 3 plus whitewater, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really exciting.
Both for guests and their host. From Pemberton, I'm Nicole Fitzgerald for Shaw TV.
If an afternoon's not enough for you, Whistler Jet Boating also hosts 3-day Thompson River adventures. Now, how's this for an adventure destination? 450 beaches and temperatures averaging from 25 to 30 degrees. Mexico still tops the list for travel spots. And up next, we have an insider's look at the country from someone who knows it best.
Escapes.ca Destinations is sponsored in part by Sunwing Vacations. Experience the difference.
Want to go on an adventure? Let me take you there. From the beaches of Mexico to the bright lights of Sin City, I'll give you an insider's look on where to eat, play, and stay from the expats and the experts. All this without ever leaving our own backyard. Your best tour guide is within reach. I'm Mansour, and this is Escapes.ca Destinations. One of the most popular tourist destinations is Mexico. But before I talk to a travel agent or hit the internet, I'm going to speak to one local Mexican who's going to tell us a little bit more about her country and where she's from. But first, a little bit about our venue, Don Guacamole's. Open since 2009, Don Guacamole's on Robson offers authentic Mexican food from its various regions. Hey, Alejandra.
Hello.
It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I'm so excited to learn more about Mexico and try some Mexican food.
Oh, I know. I'm so hungry. I can't wait any longer.
Okay, let's go inside.
Let's go. We're going to have the flautas, please, as well as the alambre with arrachera.
Now, Alejandra, I have to know a little bit about how you got here to Vancouver.
Well, I came here about 7 years ago, and I came here to go to university. I went to UBC.
And what part of Mexico are you from?
I was actually born in Mexico City, but then we moved to a city called Irapuato, known as the world capital of strawberry.
Wow.
As you drive into the city, you'll see a ton of stands on the highway selling strawberries.
Sometimes Mexico is known for kind of its cliche stereotypes, but there's so much more richness to the culture. What would you say is some of the aspects of the Mexican culture that you'd like to share?
Well, I have to say first that mariachis are not so much of a cliched fact that we have amazing historic sites.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And let's try this guacamole. Got a big chunk in this chip right here. Cheers. What are some misconceptions about the Mexican culture that you'd like to put down to rest?
Well, I think the first one would be that we don't wear ponchos. That's like first and foremost stereotype. And we actually have, you know, proper civilized cities with streets and lights and everything. We do like to party. That's another one.
Is that a
that's
misconception or a bonus? Where would you say is your favorite hidden gem?
So I think my favorite hidden spot would be the city that's called Guanajuato. So this place is actually where the independence started. The city is also built on a hill, so you have amazing point view.
Ooh. Oh, very nice. Wow. That looks excellent. What is one Spanish phrase I should learn to say when I'm in Mexico that can save me?
Yo no hablo español.
Yo no hablo español. Except gracias. Well, Alejandra, we can't wait to head to Mexico, and thank you so much for all of your advice. Our delicious Mexican meal.
It was a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Now for your travel tip of the week.
Mexico is safe. I would recommend that you, before traveling to Mexico, get a map. Mexico is huge. There have been some issues lately. Those issues have been identified in 80 out of 2,500 municipalities. That's less than 4%.
Escapes.ca Destinations was sponsored in part by Sunwing Vacations. Experience the difference.
If you're planning on booking a trip to Mexico, a tip is September is one of the best times to visit because temperatures start to drop in October. You're watching The Express, and we've got excitement from a little closer to home up next. After the break,
what's really cool about green walnuts?
Fall bounty at Vista Farms.
Pick them when they're green like this.
Everyone in the school should try to participate in more school activities.
Active advice from elementary students.
I go to see my friends every day instead of just staying home.
The Express. We are your local voice.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by
Hairstyling and color services for Shaw TV, provided by The Lounge Hair Studio. LoungeHairStudio.com.
Welcome back to The Express at Sir Matthew Begbie Elementary School in East Vancouver. Are you looking for success in your school year? Well, these days it's about a whole lot more than just reading, writing, and arithmetic. These kids are starting their final year at Sir Matthew Begbie Elementary, and they know just how to make the most of it.
I think that everyone in the school should try to participate in more school activities. You get to make friends, plus you just get to play and win for your school.
Together in the classroom and in the community.
Pretty fun school year. You're doing the shoreline cleanup, you're going to the art gallery, you're going to the Writers' Festival. When are you getting any work done?
In between, before all those things and after them, they're all work.
The most successful students are well-rounded. They get adequate rest, exercise daily, eat properly, and leave room for play.
So some people might be really big into basketball, like some of the kids in the class. Some of them might be really big into piano, but they need to have an outlet that also keeps them going.
Can you tell my boss at work that?
Yeah, Johanna needs more time to do the other fun things.
Yeah. I need more time to play basketball.
Julia agrees. She plays basketball.
They were really good. We had a lot of fun playing different games and stuff like that.
And she says there was an added bonus to being on the team.
You get to go to Giants games. Yeah, we got front row seats. That was fun. And pizza.
Whether playing games or hitting the books, school seems to be making the grade with these kids.
All in all, do you like school?
Yeah, because I get to see my friends every day instead of just staying home. And just learning is not bad either.
It's all about balance, right? And making time for field trips. Just like the kids at Begbie do, why can't we as adults? And a great spot is a tour of Vista farms in Langley. It's like the Mediterranean of the mainland.
FarmFolkCityFolk.ca, good for you, good for our earth, is brought to you by Farm Folk City Folk.
Hi, I'm Lori, and I'm here to share with you my passion for nutritious food and sustainable living. Each week, I'll travel throughout the Lower Mainland to discover what goes into the creation of our local foods. We'll see if these foods meet my dietitian's stamp of approval, and why these foods are not only good for you, but also good for our earth. Most of us have heard the story of turning water into wine, but have you heard the one about turning walnuts into wine? We are at Vista Farms and Winery, one of the best culinary agritourism destinations in the Lower Mainland. We're going to find out how they make their walnut wine and walnut preserves. Winery owner Patrick Murphy gave us a tour of his vineyard and showed us the walnuts he uses to make his flagship wine.
This is an English green walnut. We usually harvest these around Bastille Day, so July the 14th. But because the Pacific Northwest is so far behind schedule, we're going to be picking these next Monday, which is almost 3 weeks behind. What's really cool about green walnuts is when you take them, and we pick them when they're green like this, so there's no nut or shell, and we're going to crush them, okay? Now grab this and squish it into your fingers and smell that. Now, does that not smell like your grandmother's medicine chest? All you pick up...
I'm just saying, this is actually going to taste good.
Amazingly. Get a footprint of this smell in your head. Now we're going to go over to the winery and we're going to be pressing last year's harvest. This is last year's walnut harvest in here. What we're going to do is we're going to reach in here and we are going to start grabbing our brandy and our green walnuts, and we're going to slowly pour it in. So the first part's going to be a little bit liquid, and there's our green walnuts. As you can see, when we're up at the tree there, they were quite green. Now they're black. Are you ready to try this?
I'm ready.
Okay, bite into it. Isn't that good?
It's got kick.
It's got 60 proof brandy.
No need for Jello shooters here.
No,
just to eat the walnuts. Both walnuts and wine have been an integral part of the Mediterranean diet for centuries. Walnuts naturally contain healthy polyunsaturated fats, while red wine contains plant pigments called flavonoids. The combination of the alcohol and the flavonoids in the wine is where scientists believe the cholesterol-lowering, heart-healthy benefits come from. Not only does Patrick have a passion for superior wine, he also ensures he leaves his land in pristine condition as he found it. He gave us a behind-the-scenes look at his eco-friendly vineyard irrigation system.
This controls the 9 zones that we have for irrigation. And this little unit is called a dosatron, and as the water passes through, it's rerouted through here and it wicks up and picks up the fertilizer. We use a product that's called Biofish, 100% organic, and then that gets pumped out into the drip zones. This is a drip line system we have. You see there's little holes, tiny holes here. And what we can do with that is apply the Biofish directly to the roots. And we're not wasting any water by having overhead sprayers. And this allows us to do the biofert, which gets the nitrogen down to the root system.
Consuming nuts a couple times per week, along with no more than 1 drink a day for women and 2 drinks a day for men, can keep both your heart and your taste buds happy. Oh God, that's so good. For Shaw TV, I'm Lori, and this has been Good for You and Good for Our Earth.
FarmFolkCityFolk.ca, good for you, good for our earth, has been brought to you by Farm Folk City Folk.
The website is vistadoro.com. If you'd like to book your own tour out to the farm gate shop, and you can try the artisan preserves, the wines, and the fresh baking. And what else is there to do around the Lower Mainland? A whole lot, and we've got some ideas with today's Express Spotlight. Members of several important schools in the Vancouver Ikebana Association come together to create a fascinating new exhibit. The Vancouver Metropolitan Orchestra will open its 2011-2012 season with its 9th orchestra fall concert. Caravan World Rhythms presents progressive Middle Eastern music, percussion, and dance. This dynamic show will surely rock the stage. As for me, I'm going to try to tag along with the kids from Sir Matthew Begbie Elementary School on some of their fun field trips. And I hope you keep joining us on the show as well. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and you can send us emails, theexpress@shaw.ca. That's it for today's show. Thanks for watching.